Hello, welcome to the month of February. It's of course the shortest month of the year, and it's also the month of love. And for us here on Relationship Tuesday, we are also going to roll with the same tide and be able to share on romantic relationship. For today, I'd like to give us two nuggets that will be of help so that we avoid relationships that lead to disappointment or heartbreaks and even feelings of depression and low self-esteem. In this season, we are going to see people that are showing love to each other. The atmosphere is filled with joy and fun. However, we are not going to fail to see other negative stories of people that have committed suicide, others that have murdered their loved ones, others that are so depressed, others heartbroken because of the same issue of love. And so, if you want to ensure that you don't tread on this ground of disappointment, then be very careful with these two pointers. Number one, let relationships be defined. If you're in any setup that has not been defined, that is, you don't remember when this relationship began. Actually, you just find yourself with this other party, giving yourself, exclusive attention. You maybe even go to the lengths of going out for dates. Others, I say sadly, they even get to the point of getting involved sexually, and yet you don't remember the genesis of this relationship. My brother and my sister, let me assure you, you are on the path to disappointment. The book of Amos chapter 3 verse 3 tells us, can two walk unless they agree? And we all know that it takes two to tango. So there has to be that agreement for you to be in a relationship. And also, when we follow the principle of the law of contract, we are told that there has to be an offer and an acceptance for a contract to be complete. And so, if there has never been one of you, making an offer to be in a relationship, and the other party giving the acceptance, then for sure you're not in a relationship. Most probably you're in a platonic kind of setup that is really a clear path that may lead to a lot of disappointments. So before you go any further, building your future around someone that you're not even sure about, ensure that you define relationships. Number two, let us have closures. If a relationship ends, we know that most of the time you find that one party gets disinterested in this relationship. Let there be closure. Sit the other party and explain to them that it is over. Don't just go missing in action. Don't just show them that you're no longer interested and expect them to read your body language and know that this relationship is over. An unknown author writes and says that if you love somebody, don't tell them, show them. Love is a doing verb. But if you no longer love someone, don't show them. Sit them down and tell them. Why is it so? If we read the book of Matthew chapter 1 verse 19, it's a very common example of how people can be jilted. You wake up one morning and realize that you're just left. No explanation. They told that Joseph had secretly planned to divorce Mary. And you wonder, if it wasn't for the intervention of the Holy Spirit, I don't know how many would have woken up and realized that she was left. This is very unfair, especially to the party that is still interested in this relationship. If it's a mutual consent, if you agree to quit this relationship, then it's another story altogether. But if one party is still holding onto this relationship, you that is not interested, ensure that you explain to this party and let them deal with their hearts. But after you've explained to him, because you find that even those reasons you're giving to them might not be validating. They might not validate those explanations you're giving them, and it just gives them a ground for hurt and disappointment. But it is better off than just going silently. Some people will just choose to not receive their calls, block this person they no longer love, and you leave this person with so much agony and trying to figure out what went wrong. So to avoid such producing such people, you leave to the society a bleeding heart, and that bleeding heart will also go ahead and hurt someone else that didn't hurt them, and the cycle continues, and in the end we have a society that is filled with people that are bleeding. So I hope it will help us. I hope these nuggets will help us to relate well with others, and also to be very careful so that we don't end up in toxic relationship. We don't leave people that are toxic, people that are hurting, people that are suicidal, and yet we are walking freely, not knowing that we were the cause. May God keep you. May God bless you. Till we meet again next Tuesday, same time. It's goodbye for me.